raining out here. Why is this person like on my rear? I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna nothing. So it's raining. It's wet out here. I am on my way home. I'm on my way home. And I was thinking, y'all, I was meant to be a rich woman. I was meant to be on vacation right now as we speak at the beach with my child. But you know what? Things just take a little longer to get where you need to be. I wasn't meant to be staring at the computer all daggone day long. I wasn't meant to be sitting up here doing all these reports. I wasn't meant to be sitting up here getting up early, first one to get in, last one to leave, and not getting paid overtime. I wasn't meant for these type of situations. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I am over it. I'm in thought. I gotta come. You know, how you just I gotta come up with a better game plan. I gotta write. You know, God says, make your requests be known. You know, one thing I heard a great speaker say is that it's not that people really want more. You know, riches or whatever like that. They just don't want to have to worry about bills and expenses. Can you imagine what it would be like when you just don't have to worry about any bill? You can go and live free and explore. That's heaven, isn't it? You know, although I know that when the good Lord calls me home, I got a mansion. It's just that, you know, I want it here on earth too. Um, but I also know what it takes that you're gonna have to, you know, you get a mansion, you need staff, around the clock staff, which I wouldn't mind that at all. You know, again, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. It's just that on it. I really can't complain because at the end of the day, my bills are paid. I got a roof over my head. Oh, I just found out my HVAC system just decided to cock out on me. So I was like, what? But it's a good thing because not a good thing. In the line of work that I do, I got the hookup. So I got to get it replaced. It may not cost me $15,000, but it is going to cost me a couple of thousand. And you know what? I was really grateful too because the weather has been extremely warm. Plus, my home has a lot of square footage in it, and I have a fireplace. So I'm not even gonna lie. My electricity bill on an average is like 400, almost $500 a month. And so I have a fireplace in the house that has like a built-in blower. So when it's like a stove. So when the fireplace starts going, you turn it on and it blows everything hot. I mean, I honestly think whoever did that, it was so smart because you're saving on your utility bill. Because heck, even if the daggone heat was working, you would want to not run it. Thanks to Biden, you know, inflation has been through the roof, so utilities have been out the wazoo. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful because I already spoke to my I mean I got heat, but it's like on the emergency heat, but it's hot anyway. You know, you get you a couple of space heaters, make it do what it do. You know, you still looking at 70 degrees in your home. So I'm grateful for that. However, I gotta replace my HVAC system, which I'm just like, get it done. Get it done. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, I already spoke to my person and he's ordering it. But that's just the whole thing about having a home is that you do have to replace and do stuff. And then people up the street, like I want all new, 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 new. But when you get all new, 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 you need to have new, new money too, new, new income too, new, new, new. That you ain't gotta worry about it because just because I want to replace new. I don't know how y'all ever feel like you just want to get out of this cycle. And the only way to do that is that you have to do something different. You have to become it, think it, and pursue it. But sometimes these 9 to 5s can get you so caught up into your work that you realize, man, I ain't even taking lunch break. Man, I need to get home. By the time I get home, I only got 5 hours of sleep before I have to get up and do it again. And again, I'm grateful. I'm not one of them complaining people because you got a lot of folks that got laid off. You got people that's really struggling. I'm grateful. I am, but I'm like, it's more to my life than just this. That's why I'm like, I'm about to make some moves. I'm about to make some changes. When I start getting to the point where I'm just like, and some jobs be wanting everything out of you. They be wanting the essence out of you. And you like thinking to yourself, you only pay me for 8 hours. So how you want to give me 600 hours worth of work in 8 hours? That means I have to take stuff home with me. And if I take stuff home with me, then there's no, and I have done that. I have been doing that. I took my stuff home with me this weekend, but I was so like I was so tired. I needed rest. And then number two, what is that? Somebody's umbrella. And then number two, I had to go see my brother yesterday because my brother he turned 23. Oh man. So my dad, we deep. It was like 8 of us. And the younger set, no, is it 8 of us? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang, dad. 4. But then Solomon passed away. So that's 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute. Dad, okay. Jackie, me, Lisa, Carla. Yeah, we deep. Bottom line, we deep. My younger siblings just turned 23. So my father had 2 sets of twins. And my youngest brother was of a twin. His sister is fine, but he came out with low birth weight, so he's autistic. So I made it a point where to make sure I check up on my brother, and later on, I'm trying to get myself to financially to a place where my brother is not just with the state, you know what I'm saying? Because that's my brother. He's only 23 years old. But y'all, it was so awesome to see him yesterday when we walked through the door. Deep, he stood up. He was smiling, gave us hugs. He was cheesing. We brought in the birthday balloons, the cake and stuff. He was so psyched. And like we all just it was so good to see him. And I was so proud of my other younger siblings. They're 25. So my father had 2 sets of twins. So the 25-year-olds was there. And I'm just so proud of my brother for just making sure he checked on his brother too. So I know my father would be proud. I know their mother would be proud too. Um so I was meant I was meant to be a rich woman, not dealing with these peasants out here. But I suppose you have to humble yourself before you get to the top. So when you do get to the top, you can be like, I remember when I had to work these shifts. I remember when I was dealing with people snobby attitudes and couldn't say nothing about it. couldn't even vlog about it because you don't know who looking at your stuff. But gosh, no, some of the people that I come across, y'all, they make you want to pull your eyelashes out. They really do. They make you want to pull your eyelashes out and burn them. But God tells us that, to forgive those. Y'all don't understand, man. I be having some crazy, crazy people I be dealing with sometimes. And I be looking at them like a cartoon, like blink, blink. I don't know. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Somebody owed something, right? They owed like $26,000. So now it's my job to take you to court because this is what you owe. Because I don't work for you, I work for the owners. So the person decides to write a messed up review about me, you guys. And the person fabricated this lie and was like, I've been dealing with this for 2 years and whoop, whoop, whoop. And I think that that's so unfair that I couldn't clap back and be like, chick, you owe 25 grand. Like, what the heck did you think? I'm surprised they let you get by with just owing 5,000 and not giving you the boot. You owe 25. I couldn't even say that. And I'm just like, that's not even fair. This person tarnished me, tarnished myself. Yeah, like she literally put it up there on social media and fabricated a lie, but didn't tell the truth that the reason why you mad is because you get in the boot because you owe $26,000. That's why I respect people that do like Airbnb. When people be writing and messed up reviews, they be like, "Don't go here," and then the person clap back, "You're not fitting to sit up here and talk about my family because we kept the place clean. You got upset because nobody was willing to pull the key for you." I say that's what I'm talking about. See, realtors too. If I'm and I am licensed, I show you a house somewhere, and then you try to go on social media to clap on me, I could clap back on like you lying. You know what? That is not what went down. What down was you wasn't approved for no loan, and you wanted me to show you these multi-million-dollar homes, and you only making $20,000 a year. That's not gonna happen. See, I wouldn't have got on trouble for anything like that because you're not going to tarnish me. But in the field that I'm in, people can lie on you and write something that is so not true, and you can't do anything about it. Can't do a daggone thing about it. But see, back in the day, none of that stuff would have even, that's why I said, man, I'm supposed to be rich. Lord, can I get my riches, please? Please. I'm supposed to have my money. I'm supposed to be on a flight somewhere, me and my daughter on a cruise. I'm not supposed to be worrying about petty situations like that. I'm supposed to be preserving my time and efforts to something better, not dealing with the worst of the worst attitudes. And don't get it. Sometimes I get really good, humble people, really nice people. And those are the people you feel good about going out to the limb. You feel good by helping them out, because they're very appreciative. It's the snobby snobs out here. It's the ones that you go above and beyond for, and they still turn around and act so snooty. They act like you, how dare you? It don't matter if you help me. Let me tell you something. You should never treat people horrible. Number one, God is looking at you. So you should be fearful that what he would do. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Do you know how many times and how many days and when I be talking to the Lord? Do you know when I be like, Father, I need you to direct my footsteps. I need you to, matter of fact, take me by take me by the back of my shirt and place me here. And I'll be like, people, and I had to tell somebody something too, because this other person tried to flow on me for no reason. After all that I've done, at all of the times that I was nice. And I said, mark my words. And people always say to me, Mona, you're so nice. That's what's wrong. You're so nice. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to go around here acting like a tyrant. because I know where my blessings come from. I'm sitting up here acting like a tyrant to y'all, then God gonna act like a tyrant to me. So I'm not going to do that. I treat people with dignity and respect, and I expect the same thing, you know. And it's so hard when you got people in your face testing you, and you really want to curse them out. You really want to curse them out. But you know what I find though? The best thing to do is to pray them away. Pray them away. I will literally pray and be like, Father, could you please remove this person away from me? I've literally prayed, and because certain people was just hounding me, I'll be like, Father, could you please remove this person? Or could you please make them so busy that they're not even able to taunt me anymore because they got so much stuff going on with their life. They can't even look up at you no more. I guess the thing that's a little bit upsetting about it is that I've been working so long, like long hours. It's those precious moments that I'm missing with my daughter, like when she gets out of school, seeing her off to school. It's those type of things that I'm just, but in every, I guess, there's sacrifices that need to be made because I want her to have the lifestyle that she deserves. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, mommy got to make that bag. I got to get this money, and I'm grateful. I am grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful, but I just also know too the potential and the other things that God has for me. And he's always elevated me to the next level, and it's just you can't get so caught up into this type stuff because anything can happen today or tomorrow. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Today's not promised to anyone. That's why the Lord tells us not to worry about tomorrow, that we only deal with today. Look at the birds. They don't worry about what they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep, yet the Lord takes care of them. And I just, I'm to the point where I'm just like, I just want my bills paid, and I want to be able to go places. I really do. And, you know, I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine it with a husband because I already dealt 3 years of it. And to be honest with you, after my divorce, I'm on way better terms than what I was then. I'm in a way, I'm in a much better place, way better place. I would never want to go back to that. I would not. I would not. God set me up to have my own. I just want my load to be light. You get what I'm saying? I just really want my load to be light. And that's why I be grinding the way I'm grinding, so I don't, later on down the line, I don't have to. But I'm not gonna hurt myself trying to get it. I'm not gonna hurt myself for things, I'm not, because you can have fun with your business or your place of work. You got people out here playing video games and making millions. They love and venturing out. Like, please, my Sandy, my life, my will, my way, like, no. There needs to be a expectation and a standard of, this is my life, this is my job. My job pays for the things. My job expects hours out of my life to make them rich, and in return they give me money so I can pay for stuff. But I got my own business too, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to like really push that, and I have been, but I literally need to focus on it. I need to focus on it. So I could be on the plane, on the beach, traveling, planting flowers, seeing my baby, so she can see things too. So my mother can be chillaxed, and she's already chillaxed, so I can get my youngest brother, like, yeah, I'm gonna make it happen, Captain. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. Who knows? Like the way this world is going. I mean, I figure this too. Yes, we are to prepare because I really do feel like that the rapture is going to be coming any second. You know what I mean? So we got to prepare. But as long as I'm still working a 9 to 6, 8 to 5, or whatever you want to call it, I can still be pursuing so I don't have to work like the way I'm working so I can make the money that I really want to make. You know what I mean? That's just real talk. That's real talk. And I hate sometimes when I get home, it's more like, see how my baby was doing, ask her how her day was, looking at her homework and stuff, going through that. And then it's like I'm starting all over again, getting your clothes ready for the next day, washing up and check and see what's going on and, have a conversation with my mom for a bit. And then I'm rested and get up the next day and do it again. And doing it again. I'm not complaining though, y'all, but y'all know how it is sometimes. And you just like, man, can I just go back to a point when I used to go outside and just play? Remember we was kids, we would just go outside and have fun all day long. You meet all your people and you play. But the minute you start getting your own, you realize in order for you to obtain that and hold that, you got to pay for that. And today was my first time, not first time, today was the second time I met somebody that said, don't you think it's wild that they charge you to live somewhere? They charge you to actually live somewhere. There's so many people around here. Everybody can have their own spot. They can have their own. There's so many houses out here that are vacant. There's so many. I've been looking on like YouTube. They be having like these huge, big, vacant mansions. You know what I mean? Y'all know there's squatter laws and stuff. But see, the government, they're so greedy. The minute you move into a huge mansion, they be like, ho, 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 oh, oh, oh. I thought that was just a pile of bricks over there. Oh, I see somebody is heating it, then renovated some things. Let's go check it out. And as soon as they go check it out, they be like, well, well, well. So you're here. You want to take possession of this? Well, this is how much the taxes are, and this is how much it's going to cost you to live here. And you're just like, what? They charge you for everything. They even was tearing down them little teeny houses that folks was living in, and wouldn't allow people to have two twigs and a leaf over them. It's just like this is ridiculous. And then I'm not even going to cry about the whole tax situation because I got somebody looking at my stuff, and honestly, I don't even think I want to pay taxes next year. I want to be like, there is no law that I have to pay taxes, but you snatching everything from me. Well, they not snatching everything; they just getting what they want to get. And I feel like with the rich don't pay that much taxes, so it's beneficial to be rich. Because when you got money, it's the answer of things. Now, the love of money is the root of all type of evil. I don't love money, but I want money because it's the answer to things. You can just say, I want this, I want that, and it's done. I'm going here, it's done. Somebody wants you to work or whatever, you're like, nope, I'm rich. I don't need to work. Wouldn't that be lovely to wake up and be like, well, 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 what would I do today? What type of roses am I going to plant now? Or start a charity or do something that's going to impact the world. I don't know. Sometimes it reminds me of Ecclesiastes enthusiastic. You're chasing after the wind. Isn't it something? Like, and it was crazy because I was talking to my sister yesterday, and I think she got a reality check. Because losing both parents, my father and her mother, she got a reality check about things that are meaningful and things that are meaningless. One thing she was saying is, I ain't breaking my neck over no daggone job. I'm not. And I was like, you know what? I totally get it. Because that's what I be telling myself. Like, oh, Mona. Sometimes I have to really tell myself, you're going to have to leave that at your job. You're going to have to not think about it anymore. And you're going to have to let it go. Because the truth of the matter is that we only have the, what is up with all of this rain? Am I tripping? Can't hardly see what's going on out here in these streets. Y'all hear that rain? Am I tripping or what? And then what I can't stand is when people be speeding and y'all see all of this rain. Like, what you speeding for? All these people in car accidents. Y'all, there was more accidents that I've ever seen. Like, oh my gosh, it was so many like crazy things that was going on the news. And I was just like, look away. Spoke to this one guy and he was talking about how he's just really, going through it and he got anxiety and he really feel like the world is coming to an end and, the Lord is coming back. And I'm like, we all feel that. We are all feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really believe, I really believe that the Lord is coming back. I really do. And literally I told him, I was just like, Lord, please don't leave me. He gonna say, I said that same prayer when I said it to my mother. She was like, oh, I know he ain't gonna leave me. My mother was like, oh no, I know I'm going. As I know that's right, Mom. Every knee shall bow, every tongue will confess. When that horn sounds off, I'm gonna be like, woo, woo, woo. I don't want to be left behind for nothing. But anywho, yeah, I should be going to spas. I should be shopping for the finer things. You know, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. There's a reason for the season. I'm just saying. Some of y'all be like, "Well, I'm not really." That's you. That's you. You can be into what you into, but Mona was supposed to be on the beach somewhere chilling. Okay, with my baby, going to fine dinners and things like that. I'm not supposed to be there. Like, we need Trump back in the office. I hope y'all don't vote for Biden, man, because we may be heading to a daggone war, and y'all think it's a game. All you young whippersnappers out there, they going to draft y'all hot pots, and they don't even care that look, you can't even say, look, I got flat feet. Some of y'all don't even know what that means. But you got to pay attention, you guys. Pay attention. But you know what? I know it's going to come. Like, sometimes the thing is like I feel like at every single job that you go to, there's always some type of, you're never supposed to be comfortable in that position because you can never grow into something else, into something better. You know what I mean? And then when you conquer that, you got another. level to go, another mountain to go. It's not, you're not supposed to just stand there. You know what I mean? And just be like, well, I guess this is it. I guess this is all it is going to be. Nah, man, nah. I'm sorry. I'm not going out like that. I'm not going to give my good years to just a company and not put nothing into my own business. I'm not going to just be like, well, I guess this is it and this is all. And I suppose you have not because you ask not. And if an evil man know how to give good gifts to his sons or his kids, you know God is a righteous God and he loves us. How much more will our Father give us good things and good gifts? So I'm writing my list like, and I have, and you know, the things that I wanted is just like it comes in a different way, but I realized like when you focus on the things that you want, it will actually come into play. But you got so many things that can deter you away from your goals. And it could be that 9 to 5. They're taking so much of your time. You doing reports, you doing this, you doing that, you doing this. You look up and you like, that I ain't even ate. You looking dehydrated. I know folks, because they've been staring at a computer, eyes then gone bad. No wonder why they give you medical insurance, because they know what time it is. You're going to need it. And don't get it twisted. I am grateful to have insurance. I'm very grateful to have insurance. Heck, man. You should be able to do the things that you love, not the stuff that you just be like, I'm just here for the check. Because if you're just here for the check, you're gonna eventually, it's just gonna be like, man, ugh. That's why you have a lot of people that's just like, I do what you pay me to do, and I'm not going above and beyond for this. I'm just not. But me, I do go above and beyond. And I think that's the thing is like, I have to have a middle ground. That it's like, I shouldn't have to worry about my job on my days off. I shouldn't have to worry about my job when I go home. I shouldn't have to worry about my job when I'm sleeping. I shouldn't have to wake up in the morning and be like, well, what? I shouldn't have to do none of that. I shouldn't have to do any of that. I should just be really focusing on bettering myself. You know? Sorry, y'all. I just don't go. And then I feel like, man, I'd be going on a trip on the way home. But the thing is, like, no, Mona, it is long. I left at 7 o'clock. It took me an hour to get home. I still got a ways to go. Y'all hear this little car? This dag or car makes no sense. It sounds like a, a 4 cylinder, but it saves on gas, though. I'll tell you that much. It ain't no Benz, but it'll get you all the way to the beach, all the way to Myrtle Beach. Anyway, y'all, thanks for hearing me out, Do y'all feel that way sometimes? Do y'all feel like just running away? Not just running away, just see, you can't see, a wise person knows. Sometimes you gotta step out on faith. But you can't be silly in your walk. You know what I'm saying? You can't be silly. But let me tell y'all, so I used to go, and I'm gonna start this again, but I used to go and take tours of mansions. I did. I dress nice and fancy, and I'll show up like, oh, how lovely. Only 8 million, you say? Only $8 million? No, but this one house, I absolutely fell in love with this house. This is a real story. So, I fell in love with this house. This house was 12. It was going for about $11 million. And the dude who, the man who built the house, his name was Talut. Um, and the house was located in McLean, Virginia. This house was absolutely gorgeous. I'm talking about gorgeous, honey. Like when you walked in the house, first of all, when you showed up, it had a loop driveway and it had these nice statues on the outside of the house. And when you walked up to the house, and as soon as you entered the house, the foyer was is so grand. That's where you would throw your very nice, exquisite parties, with the fine china and the fine crystal. And I studied this house to a T. The house it had a double staircase. So when you come in, you got the grand foyer, but you also had this double staircase. To the right of the house, you had your parlor. To the left of the house, like when you entered in, that was the dining room area. And when you into the side of it, that's where the kitchen was, and there was a window in the kitchen that you can look out. The interior on the inside was just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. The back side of the room, it was basically like a huge fireplace, really nice sitting area, and it was the balcony of the upper staircase where somebody's walking across. You can see them. On the side of it, it had a black grand piano, absolutely gorgeous. Downstairs, I would call that like the guest suite or the in-law suite, and it had like its own separate thing. It had a wine cellar, y'all. Like, I mean, this was a gorgeous house. This house had a sauna. It had an exercise room. It also had a really nice what is it, a jacuzzi downstairs. They had like a back wall with a waterfall, and then on the outside, of course, it had a pool, but the pool also had like a back area where you can, it's like a guest house, and where you could kind of like barbecue. This was a gorgeous house, 5-car garage, absolutely gorgeous. um so I studied this house to a T. Like I literally looked at the blueprints of it because it was just that gorgeous. And one day they had an open house, and I was like, I'm going. So Symphony was just a baby. At that time, she was only, I want to say, 5 months. So me and my cousin at the time, this, she dressed up, her daughter did, and she was like, all right, we on the way to go visit Mona house. I was like, yeah, because she picked her house out in the neighborhood, and her house was a mansion too, right? So we show up, y'all, and the guy answered the door, and it was an open house, and I said, oh, you're Telu? And then he was like, yes. I said, you're the person who built the house? He was like, yes. How'd you know? And I remember when he looked at Symphony, y'all, he said, what's an because he sounded like he was French. He said, what's an enchanting child? And I was like, oh, I was thinking to myself, he called my baby enchanted. Oh. And y'all, when I tell you, I was giving them the tour of the house. Oh, and it also had a movie room too. But the house was listed at seven. It was listed at 11 million dollars. It had 11. It had 7 rooms and 11 bathrooms. And the best part about it, did I tell y'all it had an elevator? Yes, I can see myself right now taking the elevator to my suite. And I love the simple fact that in the master bedroom, it had this beautiful spa, like this steam shower. And then the master bedroom suite had a balcony. And I was like, I could totally, like, I'm going to be having my teas out. Like, I wanted that house. I really, really wanted that gorgeous, gorgeous house. Needless to say, after I went to court and all of that other stuff against my husband, Virginia just turned me completely off. So I figured I would like a double staircase house, like in Panama, somewhere on the beach, absolutely gorgeous. But when I tell you, I love to do stuff like that. I love to tour like grand houses and just like the exquisiteness of it. And I'm just like, I was meant to be in one of those, and I never stopped dreaming about that. But the house eventually sold, and guess what? It sold for the price that I knew it was going to sell for. I was like, it's going to sell for 7 million, and that's exactly what it sold for, $7 million. But when I tell you that the house was just absolutely gorgeous, it had these beautiful statues, and it had columns like something that you would see at the White House, like as soon as you go in. But it was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I just looked at that house and I kept looking at that house over and over and over and over and over again. Um, I mean, it was just gorgeous. And that guy, it was called Talu International. And what was it? Oh, I could tell y'all what the address is. Google it. 938 Peacock Station in McLean. Yes, I remember the address. When you see that house, it was absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, you couldn't that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I'm should I go in here and get some oranges? No, I'm gonna go home. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I even remember before me and my husband got married, I would make him dress up and we would go to open houses and we would look at a very exquisite fancy houses. And I remember him saying, Dad, he, in a nutshell, what he was saying was like, I came from money. And even though his parents got a very nice, grand, big house, but even he felt kind of nervous when we stepped up on the scene. And I'm like, look, just fake it till you make it. Act like you know. And we would go up in there. We would go up in there and just be like, yes, we are really thinking about purchasing the place. Like I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And at one point in time, I wanted to live in Potomac, Maryland. And then, because there was Bronson Drive. I think that was 9034 Bronson, 3040. I don't. Bronson Drive had a double staircase, but the only issue with Bronson Drive is that Bronson Drive did not have a pool. Like, how do you have a double staircase mini mansion and don't have a pool? And another thing too, mansions are totally different than estates. Estates got names on them. Mansions are just these huge, big footage homes, and yes, you are going to need a staff to help you, with your yard cleaning, because all of those bathrooms, you are not going to be doing that on your own. But estates have freaking names on it. I'm talking about it was this one place called Danella Hall. They changed the name, but Danella Hall was absolutely just, oh my gosh, is the lights out? Danella Hall was just a massive place. Like that's when you got acres and acres of land. Like that's a mansion. Like that's and when it has a name to go with it, that's a mansion. These were, I guess you would call them a mansion, but they're just big houses. But no, that's a 7 bedroom, 11 bathrooms, a double staircase with an elevator on the inside. To me, that's a mini mansion. But a mansion, shoot, that's when it take you almost a mile just to get to the daggone house, and you're in the daggone driveway. Like those things have names to go with it. But I just really like exquisite, nice things like art, and even the art of like eating, like at the dinner table, with the plates, the water, the goblets, the certain glasses, the functions. I mean, nowadays people don't really do. Now I can't see people don't do because there is a lifestyle with the rich that comes with the dining, and one would think that you would still learn the art of eating. I really felt like at the beginning stages when I met my husband, I really felt like his mother and father was trying to test to see if I knew the difference between a dessert spoon or this spoon or whatever. And even as I helped put the table, like set the table, I remember like, okay, which one goes where? Like it got to the point I was like, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend. Which one goes to what? But I remember looking at like these etiquette table mannerisms and learning what fork went to what. And there's this one lady on YouTube. She's absolutely superb. She'll show you with the different knives or forks. There's even one knife. It looks like a butter knife, but at the end it has a curve, and it's like to eat fish. She tells you like the etiquette of eating fish and when to use your hands and when not to use your hands, when to put your napkin down when you're done, the different styles of eating. You know what I mean? And that's something that learning what cup is what it's just an art with it, and I I love it. I got me a Magnolia dining room set, and it's silver plating Magnolia dining room set. And what I really want is I want a Tiffany's dining room set. The Tiffany's dining room sets are absolutely gorgeous. I'm talking about gorgeous. But I do got a Magnolia dining set where it needs to be dipped again. But those were like you really had fine silver, and some even had gold. You know what I'm saying? You really had a class about your dinner table. That's why one of my dream dinner tables that I'm really going to be getting this year. It is so pretty. Matter of fact, it's called Magnolia. I didn't even realize that. By Liberty, it's a Magnolia dining room set. And I really want it. It is a gorgeous dining table because what I really want to do is start throwing really nice dinner parties. Like I really want to do it. The thing is the catch 22 is that my friends are like my family members and they're all females. Well, no, I have a younger brother that's 25, and my oldest brother is like 8 years older than me. But I'm talking about like, when you want to invite people over, the only people you invite over is just women. And I'm like, what the heck? You gotta level the ground some. But see, that goes with the mere fact that, I'm not married, so I don't have male friends. I have acquaintances, and when I mean that folks that I need to get stuff fixed, when I have to call, but of course I have to pay them to get that stuff done. It feels so good to be home. It feels grand. But yeah, the house is gorgeous. Y'all, that house is gorgeous. Is gorgeous. But if you want to know where it's located at, it's 938 Pecan, and it's located in McLean. I don't want to get nobody's address, but when you look that house up, you'll see what I'm talking about. That thing had a double staircase. Oh yeah, and it also had I was like, oh yeah, and my back office is over there in the back. I could tell you, like, if you look it up right now, and I could tell you the whole details of the house. As soon as you walk into the house, to the right is the parlor. Oh yeah, it also had a parlor, smoke room downstairs, but that's where the cellar is located at. And remember, when you go to the left is the dining room, and off to the side is the kitchen. And the kitchen had like a butler's area. The kitchen, it was just gorgeous. Like the refrigerator looked like the finishings were white, um, marble top. I mean, it just absolutely gorgeous home. Absolutely gorgeous home. So I knew this house, like literally I studied the blueprints. I knew the back way of the house. I just knew everything about this house and I really wanted that house. And I was just like, that's my house. Like I could tell you just entering that foyer is just absolutely gorgeous. And then to actually be there and actually meet the person who made this house. I mean, I was just like, well. I still, I wouldn't say I wanted, I like the model of the house. Now, if the house was over in, if the house was in Panama City, Florida, with that gorgeous, gorgeous green, I still want that, I still want a double staircase house. I've always wanted a double staircase house with an elevator in it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's what I want. I will say this is amazing because the house that I have is nowhere near as big as the house that I want, but it definitely has features like I have a family room, a dining room, and a kitchen, and the way it sits. But when I tell you that daggone house, y'all, when you see that house, and can you imagine coming down the foyer? You know what? You know what? Who I saw not too long ago? Bootsy got a double. I don't follow the dude, but I noticed when he was talking, I was like, oh, he got a double staircase house too. But his wasn't as elegant as this house. And that's another thing too. Like, I mean, I love elegant stuff. I just love the marble, the nice finishings, the historic feel to it. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But again, in order for you to even live into something like that, like to maintain that house, you have to have the gardener. You have to have employees that actually would upkeep a house like that. You just can't go into something big and then sit on one type of in one room. You got to pay real estate taxes for that. And could you imagine the things that flow through that house? It's huge. But I feel like that house was big but not as big. That's enough room. Like it's not as big as a freaking mall, you know what I mean? But it's a gorgeous house. But it's gorgeous. I'm about to start visiting these mansions again. I'm about to start putting my rich lady looks on and be like, I've come here to see the house. Let me see the drapes. Let me see. And what I really wanted, and this is just the truth, is that I want a lifestyle where I'm able to throw very nice events like dinner parties, barbecues. I literally love when people show up to my events. I love doing certain dishes and making sure that people feel welcome, that they went somewhere and they had a really good time. I like bringing out the fine um, dinner plates and the fine crystals and stuff like that to just make it memorable. And that's all I really wanted to do. But I think I'm gonna start venturing out again. And it's crazy too, because me and my cousin, we would be like, "Yes, girl." We would be talking it up, talking it up. We both eventually stepped up from where we were at, from an apartment to we both got houses. Now we're trying to get to the next level. I feel like life is about levels. And I definitely wouldn't mind putting in people like, that's a lot of house. So what? You know, I remember asking God for a big mansion, and I said to myself, like, what is a mansion to God? And what I was shown from God's view is two twigs and a leaf. That's not big to him. It's big to people who think it's too big for them. Some people may say, I don't want that. I'm a minimalist. I much rather live in a room with a spoon. And somebody else would be like, I don't want that. That's too much. I'll much rather live outside in a daggone tent. But that's what I wanted. And I still want it. I still want to walk in and be like, look at the elevator. It goes up to my room. It goes up to the third floor. Anyway, y'all have a great night tonight.